Good morning, guys. Well, on the diesel engine, I had a bunch of this really crappy fuel line, quarter-inch rubber fuel line, and I'm attempting to make a bunch of my own, a bunch of new stuff for it. And a lot of the fittings that it has are these barb style, which they're all right. They're pretty good. I'll show you the fitting I already made. Now I lost my stainless steel wire, so I just figured I'd use some copper. It's magnet wire, and it works just for demonstration. I'll take it back off, and when I buy some new stainless wire, I'll do it with stainless. But just to show you how you make homemade hose clamps, and they work really good for barb. These didn't have any clamps on them, and they work, but I prefer to have clamps just because it makes me feel better. But yeah, let me get a piece of wire and get this fitting shoved on if I can. It's kind of cold. It makes them hard to push on, but I'm going to try it anyway. Oh, it's not too bad. Now I prefer, like this one, has the yellow plastic end on it. I prefer it without, because there's actually a third barb. You can push it on even further, and it's a third barb that, maybe it holds better, I don't know. But you can see a little tiny indent where the barb is. So let me cut a piece of wire and I'll show you how I do this. And this isn't my invention or anything. It's just something I learned from YouTube, actually. So you can definitely go and check out other videos. Just homemade hose clamps. Well, you take a piece of copper, or a piece of wire, I should say, pretty long, a lot longer than you would think it would take. You bend it in half, make a loop right in the middle, and this is a tool I made. Just a simple piece of all thread and a nut, and then I have a washer. Well, I didn't have a washer, so I'm just using this, I don't know, it's kind of just a fat bolt with a big washer on the end. But that's the tool I'm going to use to stretch this. Make sure I can get that in the groove. Okay. You take, and I like to get it right where it's kind of in the little dip. You can see where the barbs are. You stick one end in and kind of line it up. And then the other one, you come around and go through the loop. And you can see just how it fits down in that groove. Now you go through one more time, right next to where it went the first time. And back through with the first one. Now it works a lot easier with stiffer wire. Softer wire is actually, I find it kind of harder, but until I can find or go buy some new stuff, I guess this is the way we'll do it. Now you take the tool, put it in the groove on that loop. Yeah, I think it's in there. Yeah. And you take, now this washer just has a couple divots on both sides, and you want to get like that one started just in that divot, and then put this one in that divot. I like to go around and just wrap it And this small wire, small soft wire, like I said, is a little bit harder for me anyway. Let me see, can I move this to get you a better view? I don't know if I have a wrench that'll fit. No, I don't. Well, let me see if I can just turn the clamp, or turn the wires. There we go. Now you can see the wire started down in that little groove. Oh, popped out. Okay. Now I'm gonna pull up on this washer. I'm sort of doing it backwards or reversed so I can show you guys. So it's not as easy as when you're able to just go for it. So keep pulling this wire. Now I'm gonna check and make sure that the little here we go, this will work. There we go. Now you want to make sure the loops are all lined up really nice, still in the little groove. Okay. Because you can make it really like neat and tidy this way. You know, clean it up now while it's still fairly loose. And you take your pliers or your wrench or whatever you have, and I gotta tighten this up more. This copper's slipping. All right. Keep tightening it up until you get it. I like to work it just a little bit, kind of makes the loops on the wire. Check, see how they're actually going pretty nice, even though I'm doing it backwards and okay, I'll take it just a little tighter. All right, and it's starting to squeeze. You can go really tight with like stainless, but they say it's best to stop when it's flush. See how it's kind of flush with the hose. All right, let me get it locked down. Now you take this and you take this and you rotate it up. Okay, like that. Let me take this off so I can show you the other side. So you can rotate it around. Now that just put a lock on it. Okay, that little twist. So you can take your cutters and cut down here a little bit. Take your tool off and see how it's captured on there. And with this soft wire, it's really easy to bend them in. And you just poke them down, poke the tails down in the little groove you made, and that'll stop you from getting poked and cut, and they're flush. And there is a homemade hose clamp. Here's the first one I made. Alright, and just a little practice, and get your tool all kind of figured out, you know. Like, it looks like I gotta straighten that groove out and might make it a little wider That's just as wide as my bandsaw would cut. That's the only reason why it ended up that wide. I'll probably take and open that groove up a little bit for a little bit bigger wire when I get it, but worked good. Yeah. And if you're careful and you do all this tying in the backside, that's all you see. Alright, just thought I'd show it to you. I'll probably make a few more of these and do different sized barbs, you know. Alright, take care.